Well, it's January 13th, 2026, and we're headed out here this morning to the west of our evaporator building. That's what my grandmother always used to call the place where we made the syrup. And what we're doing is lining up and getting ready to set out some 3/16 tubing. We've got an area here that's kind of unique in a way because it used to be large maple trees here. And in 1994, same year my son there that's pulling the sled was born, we had a shear wind that took out about, well, at least 70 to 80% of our sugar bush. I think there was maybe a couple, maybe 100 or so trees that survived it. So this area that we're going into actually got everything. Well, maybe 2 or 3 trees left standing in it. Otherwise, everything else was uprooted and tipped over by that windstorm.
So here's the last line that we ran, huh? Goes up and catches most of those 5, 6, 7, 8 inch trees. This is all absolutely nothing at the 94 when the blowdown came through here and knocked down. You can see a few of those big stumps in the background there. Trees are basically the size of this white oak here that remained. He didn't go down, and that other tree in back of it there didn't go down either. Otherwise, everything in here went down, 94.
We tapped this area with buckets, of course, back in that time, and I remember going through here, we'd get swatted in the face continually with brush that was about 5, 6 feet high because one year the maples all seeded out, and after that we had this continual brush to deal with when we were gathering the buckets. So when that windstorm came through, all that was left was that brush. And what I did over the last 30 years is continually come in here and thin the brush out. At first, I would take the ones that were, maybe there'd be 8 or 10 pieces of brush that were growing up in about a 5-foot diameter circle. I would cut out all of them except just one of them. Of course, I wish these trees were a lot bigger. I mean, they used to be, but nature decided to downsize a little bit here. So I don't have anything really that's in that 10, 12, or 16-inch diameter range that our guidelines tell us that we don't really want to tap into the smaller trees. But I think those guidelines were probably established when they were using a 1/2 inch or a 7/16 inch bit like we used to use. And here on these trees, I'm going to use a very small, what I'll call a micro bit, and it's about a 5/64. I've got a diagram here that'll show that. I could go into a lot of details about why I feel that's not going to hurt the trees any as far as size and proportionality and things go. But like I say, it's a lot smaller bit that I'm using, so it won't cause a problem with the trees. I've been tapping trees with this size bit for a long time, and they really doesn't do any more damage than a good sized sapsucker that's going to nail all across the bark on the tree. So anyway, that's what we're using for a tapping bit here. Should mention what I call these micro spiles, the 5/64 stainless steel ones we picked up probably 15 years ago. There was a manufacturer doing those. I don't think they're available anymore, but the plastic one, the lower right, is available. I think an outfit, Canada, DSD Stars, does sell that, and that's the same size, and you actually connect your 3/16 line right on the end of that spile. I'm using a 5/16 on the stainless steels that I got because that's where those are set up. So this is what we got going on here today, and it'll probably take us a couple more days to finish up running these lines. Then our next job will be to put some drop lines in with the spiles on so we can be ready to be tapped in. We'll also need to connect these what we call lateral lines to our main line. So anyway, hope this has been informative, and this is what we're doing right now in the sugar bush.